Hi everyone, I'm here in Seville, Spain. Just got here today. I'm on the beautiful rooftop, so you might not be able to really tell, but I've got a great view. The sun's about to go down. So happy evening, happy morning, whatever it is where you are. I'm going to take us through a yoga class for runners today. Now, you don't have to obviously be a runner to do this. Mainly we're just focusing on the quadriceps, the hamstrings, and the hips. So it's great kind of for whatever you do, running, walking, cycling. If you sit at a desk all day, still going to be good for you as well. With that being said, let's just go ahead and get started. Today we are going to start in a child's pose near the back of your mat. Bring the knees out mat's distance, big toes to kiss. Start to drop your seat back towards your heels and settle in. Let the forehead rest on the mat. Arms relax to start so the forearms melt down. Taking a moment here, check in. Allow your to-do list, any thoughts, especially those of anxiety or worry, kind of fade away as you exhale. Making it a goal or an intention to keep your focus within the four corners of your mat, of your space, so that you can get the most physically and mentally out of your practice. Start to follow the inhale in. Feel it as it hits the top of the nose, back of the throat, all the way expanding your lungs into the low belly. Exhale, open your mouth, let it go. Deeper breath in. See if you can send your air a little bit further below the belly button. And exhale a sigh. Last one, deepest breath yet. Maybe you start to inch the fingers a little bit forward. Feel the elbows, the forearms lift up off the mat as you lengthen the sides of the body. Exhale, let the tongue hang out, sigh. Great. Now let's start to walk the hands back in so the fingertips are in line with your eyes. Press yourself up. Find a tabletop. So come a little bit forward. Find a comfortable position on the hands and knees. From here, we're going to tuck the toes. So you're getting a little stretch through the bottoms of your feet. Now flip the wrists so the fingertips point backwards. You're going to start to rock a little bit forwards and backwards. Make sure to rock back enough so you get a stretch through the bottoms of the feet and on the forearms. Keep a little tuck of the chin, long back of the neck. Rock it back one more time, and then come back through tabletop position. Flip the fingers to face forward, and then we're going to take a seat back onto the heels. So come to a kneeling position. Tops of the feet down now. We're going to use the inhale, stretch the arms all the way up. As you exhale, put your right hand outside your right hip. Take it for a side body stretch. Keep the left hip heavy. Breathe into the left side. Great. We'll inhale, come back through center. Simple side stretch to the left. So left hand down, right arm reaches. Come all the way back up through center. As you exhale, plant the hands behind you. Fingertips are going to point towards your toes. So the thumbs point towards each other. Now from here, you're going to start to lift your hips up just a tad. You should feel a little stretch through the quadriceps. Try to open up the chest, and maybe you drop your head back. It's a bit of a back bend. Press down through the tops of the feet. Can you lift your hips up a little bit more for 3, 2, 1. Release the seat down towards the heels and start to crawl those hands forward. Tabletop position, few rounds cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly, pull the chest forward. Exhale, chin, chest, rounding. 3 more here. Lengthen your breath, lengthen your movement. Almost see how long you can make your inhales and exhales. Last 2. Last one. Let's find a neutral tabletop position. Send the right leg long behind you. Flex the foot so the toes point down. Now we're going to send the right toes all the way off to the left. So right toes to the mat, gaze over your left shoulder towards your left or right heel. You're going to put a bend to the right knee, left hand, reach around, catch the foot. From here, kick into your hands. Feel the right shoulder pull back. Try to bring the chin parallel to the mat. Keep kicking. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release. Left hand down, right knee to the mat. Left leg lift, send the toes off the mat to the right. Hips bump a little to the left. You should feel this stretch in your outer hip. And then bending the left knee, right hand, reach around, catch your foot, and kick. Broaden the collarbones. Imagine pressing the spine into the back of the heart. Inner thighs squeeze towards each other. And release that. Right hand to the mat, left knee down. Go ahead, tuck your toes. Hover your knees up off the mat so the shins are parallel. Activate your core. Firm down the palms. Shoulders and hips in one line. Imagine holding a yoga block between your knees. Thighs engaged for 3, 2, 1. Straighten your legs. Press your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Rock the hips a bit side to side. And if it helps, you can bend and straighten into the legs. Find some stillness here, downward facing dog. Let's bring the big toes to touch, heels to touch. Lift your right leg up and back, bend the right knee, stack right hip over left. Let's start to draw some circles with the right knee, as big as you possibly can. And then switching the direction for 3, 2, and 1. Step your right foot up towards your right thumb. Bump the left foot out to the left a little. So we're in a runner's lunge. Prop yourself up onto your fingertips. Sternum pulls forward, shoulders pull back. Higher onto the left toes. Little tuck to the chin. Squeeze the outer hips towards each other. Exhale, straighten that right leg. Point the toes up to start. So you're flexing your right foot. Now go ahead and replant your right foot, but keep the legs straight. So stretching into the shin, try to tug the right hip back, the left hip forward. So it's like a pyramid pose, but you're high on the left toes. Now turn all 10 toes to face the long edge of the mat. Take a deep bend to the right knee for a side or monkey lunge. So for side lunge, both feet are firmly planted, and you're kind of lunging into the right side. For a monkey lunge, skandasana, the left toes point up. So externally rotating the hip instead of internal rotation. So whatever your hips are ready for. If you're taking your practice later in your day, you might be ready to open the arms up. All right, we're gonna walk the hands back to the front of the mat. Roll onto the outer edge of the right foot as your left knee drops to the mat. Crooked monkey, right hand, right thigh, lunge the hips forward. Maybe you gaze back over your right shoulder. If available, bend your left knee, catch your foot. Try to pull that heel in towards your seat. This is a nice stretch on that left hip flexor, left quadricep. Release the foot if you've got it. Plant your right hand inside your right foot. Now, work the right foot out more towards the edge of the mat. Hands both planted on the mat. Step your left foot outside your left hand. Find a malasana yogi squat. Drop the seat nice and low. If not available yet, you can lift the heels up here. Find a similar stretch. Try to lengthen your spine, pull the sternum forward. Firm down the outer blades of the feet. Imagine the tailbone pulling down towards the mat. All right, from here, you're gonna plant your hands behind you, drop down onto your seat. Bring the feet in a little bit closer so they're about hips distance, toes point forward. Drop the knees over to the right. Bring your right foot on top of the left knee. Take your gaze to the left. Stretching into the outer left hip, letting both knees fall to the right. Release right foot to the mat, drop both knees over to the left. Left foot onto the right knee, shift your gaze to the right. So you're using the pressure and the weight of your left foot, left leg to help press the right knee down towards the mat. Come back through center, feet plant to the mat. Catch behind the hamstrings, take 3 to 5 rocks up and down your spine. If you really want to work into the core, avoid tapping your feet at the top. And no rush on that last one, with or without the help of your hands. You're going to pick yourself up, find a forward fold top of the mat. So sending the hips up nice and high, dropping the torso down. Fingertips can start on the mat. Find a little sway side to side, and then we'll put a big bend to the right knee, plant your right hand. Inhale, send the left arm high for a twist. Bump the hips a little to the left. If possible, gazing up. Feel the crown of the head pull forward. Release, left hand down, big bend to the left knee. Inhale, stretch the right arm high. Shoulders stack, firm down the left palm, and shift your gaze up. 3, 2, 1. Right hand down. Let's go ahead, let the arms hang heavy and slowly ragdoll yourself to stand. Inhale, stretch the arms up overhead. Lift from the waistline and exhale, hands to heart center, heel toe your feet to touch. We're gonna take a nice quadricep stretch. Bring your left hand to your left hip, bend your right knee, catch your foot from the outside behind you. Hug your right heel towards your seat. For more, left hand can also catch the right foot and pull. Try to tuck the ribs back in. Keep the knees, the hips in one line. All right, you're gonna release the foot, start to hinge yourself forward into almost like a standing split, standing L. So fingertips to the mat, right leg is up and back. You're gonna take a big step back with your right foot, plant your hands, left leg, send it up and back, bend the left knee, stack the hip, and then draw some circles. Switch directions for 3, 2, 1. Step up to your left thumb. Right foot might need to bump a little to the right, runner's lunge. Outer hips squeeze towards each other. Spiral your right thigh up. Make this nice and active, so higher on the right toes. Straighten your left leg, flex the foot. Toes point up. So you should definitely feel this in the calf, the hamstring, the back of the left leg. Then keeping the leg as straight as possible, replant the left foot. Now you're getting more of a stretch through the shin, higher onto the right toes. All right, we're gonna spin to the right side of the mat, either taking that side lunge, so both feet planted, a big bend to the left knee, or monkey lunge skandasana. That way the right toes are gonna point up, externally rotating the hip. Try to mirror whatever you did on side 1. Keep it even. Maybe you're ready to open your arms. Start to walk the hands back towards the top of the mat as you work your left foot towards the outer edge of the mat. Outer blade of the foot down, right knee to the mat, monkey lunge. Left hand, left thigh, spiral chest to the left. If you bent your knee and caught your foot on the other side, do the same thing here. And if you're there, you're really trying to bring the foot in towards the seat. Now in some classes, I'll instruct you to kick back to open the chest, but right now we're focusing on the quadriceps. For 3, 2, 1. Release the foot if you've got it. Both hands plant, step your right foot outside right pinky finger. Find Malasana, yogi squat. Drop the seat nice and low, hands heart center. Think of tucking the chin in, crown of the head pulls up. Squeeze the glute muscles towards each other for 3, 2, and 1. So again, we're going to drop the seat down and bring the feet in a little bit closer. Hips distance. This time hands plant behind you, fingers point towards your seat. Inhale, lift your seat up for reverse tabletop. Maybe dropping the head back if that feels okay on your neck. Firm the glutes. Imagine a yoga block between the knees for 3, 2, 1. Lower the seat down. Catch behind the hamstrings again. 3 to 5 rocks up and down the spine. On that last one, with or without the help of the hands, feet down, come to a standing forward fold, hips lift. Bind the hands behind the back, squeeze the palms. Now you can keep a little bend to the knees, but make them as straight as possible while keeping your spine flat. Now inhale, using the strength of your hands, curl yourself all the way up, taking a little bit of a back bend, lift the heart space. And exhale, release, come to stand. Heel toe your feet to touch. Bend the left knee, catch outer blade of the foot with the left hand. For more, right hand's gonna grab the inner blade of the foot. Tuck the ribs in. Imagine pulling the tailbone down towards your right heel. Squeeze the knees, the thighs towards each other for more of a stretch. Release the foot, come to your standing L. Outer left hip drops. You can feel this probably in your right calf, right hamstring. Take a big step back with your left foot. Plant your hands and step back to a high plank position. Shoulders over the wrists, heels stacked over the toes. Squeeze your abdominals. We're going to inhale, shift forward, drop down to the knees. Untuck the toes, lower your chest and chin to the mat so the tailbone lifts. Inhale, scoop the chest forward, cobra. Exhale, find downward facing dog, lifting the hips up and back. 3 rounds of breath here, hiding the heels behind the ankles, firming down the inner palms, and lifting from your outer hips. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back. Keep the hips square. Exhale, step to your right thumb. Drop your left knee. Inhale, find a low lunge position. Press the palms together and then clasp the hands. Release the index finger across your thumbs. Try to bring the biceps back behind the ears. As you exhale, left hand down. Right arm's going to reach up. Tuck your left toes. Hug the outer hips towards each other and shift your gaze up. Taking it for that side lunge, or maybe you're ready for your monkey lunge, deep bend right knee. And if you're ready, opening those arms up, spiraling the chest open. Exhale, find a wide-legged forward fold. Plant your hands, lift your hips up. Slightly pigeon toe your feet. Firm down the outer blades of the feet. Try to keep the hands shoulder width, elbows shoulder width. Lift from the inner thighs. Inhale, lift your head up halfway, flatten your back. Crawl your hands to the top of your mat. Right toes point forward, left toes point forward. Inhale, come up, find a high lunge. Sweep the arms up. High lunge position. Again, clasp the hands overhead. Take it for a little bit of a back bend. As you exhale, you're going to come up standing onto the right leg. Hug the left knee into the chest. Try to keep the arms up, biceps hug the ears, flex your left foot. As you exhale, figure 4, left ankle over the right thigh, sweep the arms back. Make sure to keep the left foot flexed. That's going to protect the knee joint. Now you're going to bring your left hand to your left hip. The right fingertips are going to find the mat. Sweep the left leg out and back, finding a half moon. If you're there, you can send the left arm up nice and high. All right, from here, we're going to step left foot to meet right, top of the mat, forward fold. Bend into your knees. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Utkatasana, chair pose. We're going to bring those hands down to heart center. Start to lift your heels up. First option, stay here. Second option, coming down to a nice toe stand. So it is a lot on the quads, but it's also kind of a nice stretch on the quads. You're pressing the knees forward and down, squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. High up onto the toes, sternum lifting. Try to tuck the ribs in for 3, 2, hands to the mat, lift your hips, straighten your legs, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Plant your hands, step or jump your feet back, high plank. Inhale, shift your weight forward. Exhale, with or without the knees, lower halfway. Inhale, cobra up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lifted up, keep the hips square. So you're leading with the heel. Exhale, step to your left thumb. Drop your right knee. Inhale, palms press, low lunge. Clasping the hands, release the index finger, lean it back. Exhale, right hand down, left arm high, twist. Pick up the right knee. Spiral the right inner thigh up. Left hand down, side lunge or monkey lunge, left side. If you're ready for it, arms spread out nice and wide. Keep the right foot flexed. Exhale, planting the hands, wide-legged fold. Driving the sitting bones up, tailbone lift. Squeeze the abdominals to drop your torso more. Inhale, lift up halfway. Crawl the hands to the top of your mat. Runner's lunge, and then take it up to a high lunge. Again, clasping the hands, releasing the index finger. Feel a stretch through the right hip flexor. Keep the hands if you can. Spring forward, standing onto the left leg. Right knee is bent at 90 degrees, foot flexed. As you exhale, figure 4, right ankle over the left thigh, sweep the arms back. If you don't feel this in your outer hip, sink down a little bit more, deeper bend in the left knee. Right hand, right hip, left finger start to find the mat. Swing the right leg all the way out and around, finding a half moon. So that transition's really working to open up the right hip. Once you're there, right arm reach it up. And back down to the mat. Step the feet together, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, chair. Again, hands heart center. And if you didn't attempt it the first time, maybe this is your time. Toe stand. So to get there, heels are going to lift. You're slowly lowering down. Almost imagine sliding down a wall behind you. So nice, slow, controlled movement. Keep the thighs hugging towards each other. Try to bring the heels in closer to each other. Pick an unmoving spot to focus your gaze for 3, 2, 1. Hands to the mat, lift your hips, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step, jump, float back, move through one vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back, bend the knees, stack your right hip over your left. Now stay here, or if you're ready for a wild thing, shift forward onto the left toes. Drop your right foot softly behind you. Now the left leg should be straight, and the outer blade of the foot is parallel with the back side of your mat. Right hand to the mat. We're going to take it for fallen triangle. To get there, right knee, left elbow. Shoot your right leg out to the left. You're trying your best to get your toes in line with your fingertips. Higher onto the left toes. Drop the inner blade of your left foot down and send the left arm forward. Press the hips up. Left hand down, pigeon. Right knee slides to the right wrist. Left leg wiggle walks back behind you. Stay upright here or coming down onto the forearms. So especially if you do like to run, hike, walk, any of that repetitive motion with the legs and the hips, it's really important to balance it out with your flexibility. This is a great pose to work on, I mean, pretty much any time after you complete your other exercises. Pigeon pose is going to be one of the best ones for that. I'm a little biased too, since it's my last name. 2 more breaths. Start to walk yourself back up onto your hands. You're going to roll onto the right hip. Swing the left leg around. So left leg points forward. And plant your right foot outside your left knee. So we're facing the top of the mat. Left leg straight. Right knee in a bent position. We're going for a twist to the right. Left elbow hooks the right knee. Twist. Unwind through center. Bring your right knee to meet your left, but bend the right knee back. So we're going to take a half hero's pose. You might need to kind of manipulate the right calf out of the way here. Try to get the knees to touch. So you're not sitting onto your right foot. It's actually outside of your hip. The toes pointing to the back of the mat. Now, if that's enough sensation on the right thigh, great, stay there. Otherwise, start to lean yourself back first onto the forearms. If you're still feeling okay, you can go all the way back onto the shoulders, the back of the head. You should feel this top of the foot, the right ankle, the shin, the quadricep, and the knee. So it's kind of an odd angle to stretch at, so it might feel a little bit uncomfortable. Don't usually stretch the muscles in these ways. If you think about your foot, it's always at that 90-degree angle, so to bend it like completely backwards might feel a little funky. Just breathe into the sensation, and we'll start to come up. First, forearms. Use the strength of your upper body to lift yourself up. Send your right leg forward to meet your left. Simply cross your ankles, put your hands in front of you, lift the hips up, step it back, one vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Left leg will lift, bend the knee, stack the hip open. Stay here or shift forward first onto the ball of the right foot, gently stepping your left foot behind you. Wild thing. Glutes active, straight right leg for 3, 2. Left hand to the mat. Squeeze your left knee to your right armpit, and then you're shooting the left leg out to the right. The goal is to get the toes in line with the fingertips. If you're there, right inner blade of the foot drops and the right arm stretches forward, fall in triangle. Pressing the hips up towards the sky. Legs as straight as possible. And let right hand down, pigeon. Left knee, left wrist, right leg wiggle walks back. Forearms up or down. Try to mirror whatever sensation or stretch you felt on side 1, keeping things as even as possible. It's easy to favor one side, especially if you're doing a lot of repetitive movements. So if we just continue the side to stretch the side that's a little easier to stretch, we're just creating a larger gap in disparity. Slowly start to walk yourself back, up onto the hands, roll into your left hip, swing the right leg around. Right leg straight, left foot plants outside the right knee, going for a twist. Hook right elbow, left knee. Plant your left hand or palm, so palm or fingertips behind you, and twist. Now keep the right foot flexed, twist for 3. Crown of the head lengthen, 2. 1, unwind. Left knee meets the right knee. The left leg is bent back. So you're bringing the foot in towards the hip, but you're not sitting on top of it. Toes point back, knees, thighs touching. If that feels okay and you want more, leaning back onto the forearms. For even more, shoulders back of the head to the mat. Half reclining hero's pose. Now I like the right foot flexed, but it's personal preference. The most of the focus here should be on the left side of the body. Option to send the arms up overhead. Slowly, let's start to come out of this. Come back up onto the forearms and release that left leg to meet the right. Give both legs a shake. You massage out the knees or the shins, and then wiggle, walk your sitting bones back. Inhale, stretch the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, forward folding. Squeezing the abdomen will help you fold a little more. Press the inner blades of the feet forward as you kind of tug the outer blades back. Go ahead, rest the head down. Let the chin fall in towards the chest. Slowly walk yourself all the way back out. Lie down onto your back. Hug the knees into your chest. We're going to send those legs straight up. Stay here or hands support the low back shoulder stand. Being on your feet a lot. This is kind of nice to reverse the blood flow a bit. Give some relief to your feet, your ankles, that you usually bear your weight all day. Three more breaths if you would like to move into plow pose and or ear pressure pose. When you're ready, one vertebrae at a time, slowly rolling yourself all the way out. And if you'd like, you can end with a fish pose, hands under the seat, forearms down. Toes point forward, firm down the forearms as you press your chest up, drop the head back. Keep the toes pointing forward. Nice stretch through the abdomen. Press the spine up, 3, 2, 1. Slowly tucking the chin in towards the chest. Wiggle the arms out from underneath you. Find your most comfortable position on your mat. So maybe widening the feet, letting the arms sprawl off the mat. If today you prefer to bring the bottoms of the feet to touch, knees out, Baddha Konasana, reclined. And while the physical part of your practice might be over, staying within the four corners of your mat for these final few moments. Each time the mind starts to stray, gently, without judgment, tugging it back. Using your breath as an anchor, a grounding point, something to focus on. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like or need. However, when you're ready, you can bring some small movements back into your body. Eventually hugging the knees into the chest, and at your own pace, making your way up to a seat or any other comfortable position. Inhale, hugging the shoulders up to the ears, and exhale, let them drop all the way down your spine. Follow your breath all the way in. Tip of the nose, back of the throat, fill up the lungs and the belly. Exhale, aside to release. Bring your hands up to your heart center, press your thumbs into your sternum. Take a full breath in. Exhale, bowing your head towards your heart, honoring your body, your practice, your breath, and namaste. All right, it's always an honor to be your guide through this practice. If you enjoyed this class here in Seville, make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more classes all around the globe. And if you're looking for something specific, whether part of the body, posture or maybe a city you would like to see. I can't guarantee that that will happen, but you never know. So leave some suggestions down in the comments below. See you next time.